Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian. This is our 07 GMC Acadia, which we recently replaced front brake pads and rotors, and as soon as I got done test driving that, the rear started squealing. I knew they were close, but I didn't think they were that close. So I looked at my records, and the first set of pads lasted 130,000 miles. It has 251 on it now, so this will be its second set of pads, and we're going to go ahead and replace the rotors too, because they have a pretty good lip on them. Since we're replacing pads and rotors, we'll need to remove the caliper and the caliper bridge, obviously, along with the rotor. These bolts right here are 14s. I don't know if this will show up, I just noticed this. Our bump stop has separated from itself and it's just kind of rolling around inside the coil spring. And I guess it'll still function, it's just not going to, at least it won't go anywhere. So just prop the caliper out of the way, and that is an aluminum caliper. That thing weighs like nothing. Jesus Christ. So that bolt is a 21 millimeter head. Can't get power tools in there, so I'll do this old school way. Obviously, these have never been out. Loctite too. Rotors held on with the Torx. That was a pretty good guess. That is a T30. Wow, it felt like it stripped out, but it actually came loose. Yeah, I think it was time. I may or may not have filmed taking that off, what I did find when I did get it off, the parking brake shoe, she's mighty thin. So I'll take the other side off and then make a decision on what we're going to do with that. I can get them, I just gotta go to the store that has them, which is of course the other side of town. In case I didn't film it, that's a 14. That is completely gone. This is actually a Matco ratchet. This thing was pretty expensive and it's kind of a piece of crap. The teeth are like screwed up in the head. And I don't work at a place where a Matco tool guy shows up that could fix it, so I have to figure that out somehow. Other side came right off. These parking brake shoes look just as bad, if not worse. So upon further reflection, we're just going to pretend we didn't see those brake shoes like that. I'm afraid once I get them and get back, I'm going to not have enough daylight to finish this. We'll just clean it up and roll with it. Go ahead and clean what rust is on here. Clean your finger while you're at it. That's a little better. Go ahead and put this hold down screw back in now. So, should be able to find that star wheel. Just starting to drag, we'll leave it like that. There are new clips in the kit, or at least in the brake pad box. These will just pop out of here. Give this a little cleaning. You want to inspect the sliders, make sure they slide, they feel fine, the boots look good. So I'm going to leave them alone. Hose a little dust off. Anti-rattle clips, whatever you want to call them, should just slide right in. And the caliper bridge can go back on. The internet told me to torque these big bolts to 129 foot-pounds. So we got every bit of life out of them, considering that's where they were new. And that is not, yes it is. That is the right pad. Okay. And they appear all to be the same. These did not come with any goo for them, so we'll supply our own. Doesn't take much. There we go. So now we need to push this piston back in the caliper. The way I do it is crack this bleeder open. That is a 10. Sometimes you can half bolt it back on to hold it. Get that thing to come loose. She's a little snug, but obviously it's not clogged, so we're getting fluid out. Squeeze it back with whatever means you have available. There we go. You also want to coat whatever contacts the back of the pad with some goo. Won't take a lot. Pads have this anti-rattle or anti-squeal thing bonded to them, so that may not be necessary, but I always give it a little bit. And these, tight enough is probably fine. I've never seen one of these come out on their own. All right, now to the other side. If you lost a lot of brake fluid, now would be a good time to fill it up, but I probably didn't lose any more than what was in the piston. So now we'll just pump the brakes to get the pads up against the calipers. Which they should be now. Yep. So I don't have a helper here to help me bleed, so we're just going to let this open the bleeder and let this drip for a little bit. And typically that will get any air out of it if it'll drip. Most of them will. Okay, could be a liar. All right, I've got another method. I'll leave the bleeder open. Take my big pry bar, push down on the brake pedal, wedge it in the seat, then I'll come back here and close it. So if you hold the brake pedal in position like that, it should just push fluid out and stop, and it shouldn't allow any air back in. So now we can probably do the same thing for the other side. So there should be pressure. There should be pressure in the system. That wheel shouldn't turn. So now I can just pretend there's a person in there holding the pedal down. Should be able to open that. Close it. Give that a quick clean. Put the wheels back on and then go for a drive. We should be done. One thing I forgot to mention is where the star wheel is for the adjustment of the parking brake. There's a rubber plug in there. You want to take that out and reinstall it. It'll just keep junk out of your parking brake. Of course, one's missing, so we'll only have one.